makers, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a mason jar tutorial for Mother's Day. Make sure you have your mason jar, some multi-surface paints in any colors that you like, as well as some 70% alcohol to rinse off your brushes. So here's my setup. I have a clean mason jar ready to go, and the colors that I'm working with today, I have black, white, blue, fluorescent violet, green, red, and yellow. I also have a separate plate to mix up my colors on, a cup with my alcohol and my brushes to keep them clean, and then a paper towel to rinse off my brushes with. First step, we're going to be creating sort of like a salmony pink color with a scoop of white, small touch of red, and a small touch of yellow. Using a flat brush that's round at the end, I'm going to use that to create a heart shape that is in the middle of my mason jar. If this brush tends to be too big for you, you can use one that's a little bit smaller and pointy. Next, we're going to get into some flowers. So with a clean brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of white and a big scoop of red to create a hot pink. Then I'm just going to be creating a whole bunch of circles all over my mason jar, on the sides, on the back. Once my pink base flowers are in, I'm going to be creating an orange with a little bit of white, big scoop of yellow, and a touch of red. Same thing, just a whole bunch of those circles, about the same size as the hot pink ones, all over our mason jar. Get a clean brush. We're going to be creating a purple with a little bit of white, a big scoop of fluorescent violet, and a small touch of blue. And again, doing the same thing, those nice big circles. Next, we're going to be getting a clean brush and grabbing some yellow and white paint, mixing it into that orange to create more of like a sunset yellow color. We're going to be adding a few touches of this all over our mason jar, as if they're tiny little blossoms that are just floating around. Then, with a small pointy brush, we're going to grab some yellow, green, maybe a touch of white, and this is going to be the main color for all of the stems that are going to be floating around on our mason jar. We're going to be drawing just little tiny tick mark lines just in between all of the blossoms that we've painted in so far. Then if you take the back of your brush, or the handle, dip in your white paint, we're just going to poke a whole bunch of dots to fill in any last little gaps in between the flowers and the stems. Next, we're going to be adding some texture to our flowers. I'm going to add a little bit of white to my hot pink. Using my small pointy brush, going to be doing these little loop shapes going around in a circle in each of my flowers. Then with a clean pointy brush, you're going to add some white to the orange that we created and do the same exact texture for our orange flowers. We're going to repeat that step for our purple, add some white, and add the little loops to create some texture. Next, we're going to be getting into my hot pink. Once again, I needed to mix it up because I ran out. Just with a small pointy brush, adding a few touches of this within the center of each of those sunset yellow blossoms that were randomly dispersed throughout our mason jar. And then a clean brush, going to grab some white and yellow, add it to my green mixture to create more of a lime green, and adding a few lines of this throughout all of our stems. Next, Next, with a clean pointy brush, we're going to grab a scoop of green, a scoop of blue, and a little touch of white to create a lovely aqua. We're going to take this color and trace the outside of our heart. Really makes it pop. Using that same color, underneath the rim of my mason jar, I'm going to be throwing one line of this color right underneath. This will help to frame in all of our flowers. We're going to be adding one more layer to all of those lovely flowers. I'm going to be taking a small pointy brush, just in my fluorescent violet, and adding a few more of those little loopies. And then taking some red paint for my orange flowers. And mixing up a little bit of white and yellow to add some yellow loopies in our pink flowers. Next, I'm going to be getting back into that aqua color and adding one line of that along the bottom ridge of my mason jar to fully finish framing in everything. And the last step, of course, since this is a gift for Mom, we're going to take our aqua paint with a small pointy brush and just do a nice little MOM to finish off this painting. Write Mom right in the center of that heart. You could even put a name. Maybe you want to customize this for a different occasion. Maybe it's a birthday gift. Maybe you want to do one for Father's Day when it comes up. It's really up to you. Or one for yourself. Maybe you could put your initials. If you'd like to make this mason jar dishwasher safe, make sure you throw it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. But that is the last and final step to creating our wonderful Mother's Day mason jar. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. We'd love to see how your mason jars turned out. You can post them on social media and tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check them out. If you want to see more tutorials, make sure you check out our channel, like and subscribe. And with that, don't forget to always paint outside the lines.